that big commotion behind me is the new Nike launch.
Have you ever seen a t-shirt disappear in just 60 seconds? Not a pair of limited edition sneakers, not a celebrity collaboration, just a simple t-shirt inspired by a tiny white flower. Yet that is exactly what happened. Thousands of fans rushed to buy it. Store shelves were emptied within minutes. Online stock vanished almost instantly. Resellers immediately began listing it for several times the original price. Even today, many Filipino fans still cannot get their hands on one. So what made this shirt so valuable? The answer isn't fashion. It's Alex Eala. As Wimbledon 2026 approaches, the 20-year-old Filipina sensation isn't just arriving as another promising young player. She walks onto the grass at STU-19 carrying history with her. Just days ago, Eala produced one of the biggest performances of her young career at the Berlin Open. Against one of the toughest fields of the season, she stunned the tennis world by defeating world number 2, Elena Rybakina, before following it up with another statement, victory over world number 4, Elena Svitolina. Those weren't lucky wins. Those were victories over 2 established Grand Slam champions on one of the fastest surfaces in professional tennis. By the time her incredible run ended in the semifinals, the entire tennis world had started asking the same question. Is Alex Eala ready for something even bigger? The answer came almost immediately. When Wimbledon released its official seeding list, history had already been made. For the first time ever, a Filipina player had been seeded at a Grand Slam. Number 29, a milestone that millions of Filipinos had dreamed about for years. But while tennis fans celebrated her breakthrough, another story quietly exploded across social media. The Nike shirt everyone wanted was still impossible to buy. To understand why, we need to go back nearly a year, back to Wimbledon 2025. Before Alex stepped onto center court to face defending champion Barbora Krejcikova, Nike Philippines prepared something incredibly personal. Instead of creating another generic promotional campaign, the company partnered with Manila-based artist Georgina Camus to design something that represented Alex's journey. The inspiration came from one simple object: a handmade Sampaguita flower hair tie. The Sampaguita is the national flower of the Philippines, symbolizing humility, hope, resilience, and quiet strength. Nike created only one of those hair ties. Just one. Alex wore that one-of-a-kind piece onto one of the most famous tennis courts in the world, carrying a small piece of her country with her. Nike later confirmed that the original hair tie would never be sold. It would remain unique forever. Since fans could never own the hair tie itself, Nike created something else. A special capsule collection called Nike by You in full bloom. At the center of the collection stood a beautifully designed Sampaguita t-shirt created by Georgina Camus. It wasn't just sportswear. It became a symbol of Filipino pride. Every flower, every detail, and every graphic reflected Alex's journey from a young dreamer in the Philippines to one of the brightest rising stars in world tennis. On paper, everything looked perfect, until launch day arrived. Nike released the collection through exactly one physical store, Nike Fort BGC. Online, only one retailer received inventory, Park Access Philippines. That meant an entire nation of more than 115 million people and millions of Filipinos living overseas had exactly one realistic opportunity to buy the shirt. The result was completely predictable, and yet somehow Nike wasn't prepared. The online launch lasted just 60 seconds. 1 minute. That was all it took. Nike itself later confirmed the incredible sellout time. At the physical store, the situation was just as unbelievable. Crowds lined up before opening. Within roughly 10 minutes, every shirt had disappeared. Gone. Fans who had traveled hours walked away empty-handed. Others refreshed the website again and again, hoping for a miracle that never came. Every later restock sold out almost as quickly. Then something even bigger happened. Resellers took over. By the following morning, listings began appearing across online marketplaces. The same shirt suddenly cost 2, 3, and sometimes even 4 times its original retail price. Think about that for a second. This wasn't a signature shoe. It wasn't a Jordan release. It wasn't connected to a Grand Slam champion. Alex Eala wasn't even inside the world's top 50 when the collection launched. Yet, demand exploded at a level usually reserved for some of the biggest athletes on the planet. Compare that with tennis history. When Coco Gauff released major collections, she was already becoming one of the sport's biggest names. Naomi Osaka had multiple Grand Slam titles. Serena Williams had built an entire global empire. Alex Eala had none of those accomplishments yet. Still, her Sampaguita collection disappeared faster than many products released by players with far bigger resumes. That wasn't hype. That was market demand. And for years, Filipino fans had been saying exactly this. They believed Alex wasn't simply another talented player. They believed she represented something much larger, a global commercial opportunity waiting to explode. Many people dismissed that belief as national pride, but Nike's own sales numbers told a different story. The fans had been right all along. They weren't exaggerating. They simply saw the future before everyone else did, and as Alex's career continued rising, that demand only became stronger. But the story didn't end with a sold-out t-shirt. In many ways, that was only the beginning. As Alex Eala kept winning, the value of that collection kept rising. Every major milestone in her career created another wave of demand, proving that the original launch wasn't a lucky accident. It was a preview of something much bigger. Just weeks after the Sampaguita collection debuted, Vogue Philippines featured Alex on its cover, celebrating her rise as one of the country's most inspiring young athletes. Interest in the collection surged once again. Then came another breakthrough. Front Office Sports highlighted Alex's growing popularity before the 2026 Indian Wells tournament, pointing out that she was drawing massive crowds wherever she played. Tennis fans weren't just watching her matches anymore. They were showing up early to see her practice sessions, taking photos, buying merchandise, and following every step of her journey. The demand kept climbing. Then Berlin happened. Her remarkable victories over Elena Rybakina and Alina Svitolina completely changed the conversation surrounding her career. Suddenly, Alex Eala wasn't being discussed as a future star. She had become one of the most dangerous young players on the WTA tour. Every victory attracted new fans. Every tournament expanded her global audience. Every headline introduced millions more people to her story. And with each passing week, one question kept appearing across social media. Nike, when are you restocking the Sampaguita collection? All Singhao fans from Manila to Dubai, Toronto to Los Angeles, Sydney to London. Thousands continued tagging Nike Philippines, hoping for another chance to buy the shirt that had become nearly impossible to find. Yet nearly a full year after its release, the answer was still the same. Nothing. No worldwide launch, no large-scale production, no global restock, only growing frustration from fans who wanted to celebrate one of the biggest moments in Philippine sports history. Another fascinating detail soon emerged. According to People Asia, Alex Eala's reported Nike endorsement deal is worth approximately $2 million annually. Nike has never publicly confirmed that figure, but if the estimate is even close to accurate, one thing becomes obvious. The shortage wasn't caused by a lack of investment. It was caused by underestimating demand. That distinction matters. Because this wasn't simply another athlete endorsement, it was a cultural moment. And much of the credit belongs to the artist behind the design. Georgina Camus wasn't hired to create another generic sports graphic. She transformed one deeply personal symbol, the handmade Sampaguita hair tie, into something millions of Filipinos immediately connected with. When introducing the collection, she described the design as a symbol of discipline, courage, and full-circle growth, created to inspire the next generation to bloom in their own time. That message resonated far beyond tennis. Young athletes saw themselves in it. Young girls imagined following Alex's path. Parents wanted to support a homegrown success story. The shirt became more than merchandise. It became a statement, which makes one reality almost impossible to ignore. A design created to inspire the next generation became unavailable to the very generation it was meant to reach. Instead of appearing in school hallways, local tennis clubs, and family gatherings across the Philippines, many shirts ended up on resale marketplaces with prices several times higher than retail. The design succeeded. The story succeeded. The athlete succeeded. Only the distribution failed to keep pace, and that changes the conversation entirely. This is no longer just a Philippine business story. It's a global sports marketing lesson. Every apparel company watching this unfold has now received valuable market research without paying for it. For years, many brands viewed Southeast Asia as a region with future potential. Alex Eala's merchandise proved something different. The demand already exists. Right now, fans aren't waiting for permission to support their athletes. They're ready today. All they need is the opportunity. Now imagine what happens next. Wimbledon 2026 is finally here. Alex Eala walks through the gates of the All England Club as the first Filipina ever seated at a Grand Slam, carrying the confidence of her incredible Berlin run and wearing the Nike logo in front of millions of viewers around the world. That exposure alone creates another enormous opportunity. And Wimbledon is only the beginning. After London comes the North American hardcourt season, the Canadian Open, Cincinnati, then the US Open in New York, where one of the world's largest Filipino communities will once again rally behind their rising star. 3 massive tournaments, millions of television viewers, countless new fans, and multiple opportunities for Nike to either repeat its biggest merchandising mistake or finally respond to overwhelming demand. Here's what seems most likely. If Nike announces a worldwide Sampaguita collection before or during Wimbledon, demand could reach levels far beyond the original launch. Not simply because Alex has become more famous, but because the company has unintentionally trained fans to expect extreme scarcity. People know what happened the first time. They know the collection disappeared almost instantly. That memory alone would encourage thousands of buyers to rush online the moment a new release is announced. Whether Nike prepares enough inventory remains the biggest question. One thing, however, should never be forgotten. Berlin wasn't a perfect ending. After defeating 2 of the world's best players, Alex eventually fell in the semifinals. Some analysts even suggested she should take a short break before Wimbledon. But Alex has always approached defeat with remarkable maturity. As she once explained, tennis is beautiful because it constantly teaches humility. You win, you lose, then you learn. That mindset is exactly why so many people believe her biggest achievements are still ahead. So take one final look at the journey. A young Filipina walks onto center court, wearing a one-of-a-kind Sampaguita flower in her hair. A talented Manila artist transforms that unforgettable symbol into a t-shirt. An entire nation races to buy it. Online inventory disappears in 60 seconds. Store shelves empty within minutes. Resellers flood the internet. And almost a year later, as Alex Eala prepares for the biggest Wimbledon of her career,